Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter. Today we are talking about starting to prepare for the new year in donations, specifically how to use the auto assign screen. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I would recommend anytime you make a mass change to your database, you make a backup first. So very simple to make a backup. Simply click on Administration, go into Backup, choose the location where you would like the backup to save. Typically, we recommend a flash drive so you can put in your purse, throw it in your pocket, take it home with you. That way the data isn't left at the church. You're actually taking it off site with you. But go into Administration, click Backup, browse to the location you want the backup to save to, and then simply hit this Begin Backup button, and it takes a matter of moments. But if you find after you try to do the auto reassign and you're not happy with your results, you can very easily come in, restore your data, and get back to square one, and then try the auto assign again, okay? But anytime you make a big change to the database, it takes 2 seconds, just make a backup. It's pretty easy. All right, let's go into donate. We're going to go up to givers and I'm going to click right here on auto assign. Okay, so this is the auto assign screen here in donations. A lot of options here. I know it can be a little overwhelming the first time you come in here. But what I do want to point out is in that preparing for the new year document on page 2, it does a really, really good job of going through and explaining what each of these different fields do when you come in here, okay? There is always going to be a message that pops up that just lets you know while you are in here, you are the only person who's going to be able to be changing giver numbers. This is a mass change that you're doing to the database. So it wants to make sure that you are aware that you're the only one that's going to be available to do anything in here. Okay. Main thing to look at here. Right here on the right, it says new number start date. This is the date that your new numbers are going to become or take effect. Okay, so it's always going to default to January 1st of the upcoming year. Typically, people do the auto assign starting the first of the year for the new year coming. If you want to do something different, simply click in here and change it to the date range that you're wanting to use. But by default, this is the date that you're going to go with. You're also going to have this last column here that is going to show you what your new numbers are going to be based on what your start date is. So this is kind of the column that you really want to check out before you hit the save and close button at the bottom to make sure it's what you want. It is normal to see the same numbers from the current column in the new number column right when you open the screen. Once we hit this assign selected and have our changes take effect, this column will change, but it is very normal. It's perfectly fine the first time you come in here to have the same numbers reflected in both columns because we haven't changed anything yet. Okay, so don't worry about that. Something else to consider, up here in the top left, you have this filtering out options. So if we hit the down arrow, this is a really easy way for you to come in and decide who you want to see displayed in the list. So who do we want to be included in our auto reassignment and who do we not want to be included in our auto reassignment? It's going to have a blue or gray and it's going to be either showing or not showing. So again, this is dependent on who you need for your reassignment. Givers with current giver numbers. We're showing those. So everyone who has a giver number as of today is going to be showing in this list below. Givers with no current numbers, they are also set to showing. Again, it is up to you if you want to include people who as of today don't have a giver number. Inactive givers with no numbers, typically you're going to want those off because you're not going to need to assign a include inactive people if they don't have a number. Maybe there's an occasion where you want to give an inactive person a number. Typically, no. Children, do you want to see children? So people in membership with a directory report order of 3. Again, it's up to you whether you want to include kids or not. Membership groups, that's going to be your Bible study groups, your VBS groups, your small groups. It's up to you. And then givers whose last number ended on 12/31/2024. It is up to you whether you see those people or not. Typically, you're not going to want to see those people because you've ended their number or they don't need a number anymore. But again, it's all optional. Something else I want to point out to you about that before we move forward. For me, having been here for 13 years, learning all the different ways we've tried to streamline the auto reassignment feature, I think it is truly best before you start doing any auto reassignment is to come up here into givers, go into manage numbers, and end any giver numbers on people. But if you have anyone who's left the church, moved away, passed away, changed churches, whatever it might be, I would recommend before starting the auto assign feature, coming in here and just giving those people an end date. So clicking right in their end date box and ending that number for 12/31/2024. That way, number 34 will be available for you to then assign to someone else starting in the new year. You can make that change in the auto assign screen, and I will show you that as well. To me, the way my brain works, I find it so much easier to come in and end the dates here for the people who don't need to be included for next year. Then when you go into the auto assign moving forward, you just make sure you have those people not showing, and then they won't even be in your list to have to worry about. Okay? That's how my brain works, but you can do it however you want. Just my little tip there. Okay, so we've figured out our filtering out option. Next, you need to decide how you want these givers sorted when you apply their new numbers. Most of the people I talk to, they clear out the numbers for the people that don't need a number, and then they want to sort the list alphabetically and then start at number 1 and work their way through the numbers all the way down to Z. Typically, that's what I see. Doesn't mean that's how you have to do it, but I would say 90% of the time, that's the process people follow when they do the auto reassign. So I'm going to come up here to the top and I'm going to say sort by. Right now it's sorting in number order. I want it to sort in name order. That's going to give me that alphabetical sort of people, and I'm going to hit apply sort. So now my list here is going to be in order. You can see some people are omitted, right? Like Richard and Karen. They don't currently have a number, so they aren't checked to be included. But if I want to include them in my auto reassign, I can simply come in here and I can check those people to be included. Or I can check this box up at the top, and that's going to quickly highlight everyone. So my filter was only including people with a giver number, but if I want to include everyone, even the people without, I can simply check their boxes here and include them. Okay? Again, it's completely up to you. If you have a particular person you want to look for quickly on the fly, you can search for them here. Then you come here and you have to specify what number do you want your new numbers to start with. So right now it says we're going to start with number 1. Right? Everything looks good. The order is okay. You simply come here and hit assign selected. And then you tell it numbers will be assigned to all selected, which means everybody who's checked. Givers currently visible on the grid. They will be sorted in name order. I'm going to say assign. That's what I want. So now when we look right here in this new number starting column, every single person we've checked is now listed here in the right, starting at number 1 and working its way all the way through. Okay? If you find you have someone you don't want included or a number that you don't want to see, you can uncheck them, or you could X out the number, and then number 3 isn't going to be a number that's going to be assigned. Okay, you can manually override, you can come in here and change it to whatever you need, but that is how you simply tell the software, these are the people that I want to start at number 1 and I want to print. Just start at number 1, work all the way through, and then I want to print those out. Okay. So if that looks good, you're going to hit save and close. It's going to take a minute to update. And here's the print. It's going to ask you, do you want to print a report of your new numbers? Yes or no? We'll say yes for this. It's going to open up that list giver numbers report. It's going to use numbers current as of. Right now it's going to default to the first of the year because that's when our new numbers take effect. And we're going to choose assigned numbers and we're going to hit print. This is going to take all those new numbers we just assigned and it's going to put them in a report for us. For this instance, it doesn't really matter if you want to print in numerical or alphabetical order just for the fact that we sorted and assigned in the same. So that doesn't really make a difference. But here is everybody who has that new number. And you can print this out for your records as well. All right, that is everything I wanted to go over with you guys today. Assigning giver numbers, it can kind of come across overwhelming for people. Just make a backup first and then try it. Use the documentation out on the website. Rewatch this video. But if you have trouble and you're on support, give us a call, shoot us an email to support@churchwindows.com and we will do our best to walk you through, help you with the process if you want it. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to put those into the Q&A section on your toolbar and I'd be happy to answer those questions for you. If you've got the information you were looking for and you don't want to hang out for the Q&A, feel free to leave the event. That's fine. Let me show you too while we're waiting for a question. I'm going to show you where you can find this document. So if you go to churchwindows.com under customer support, there is a new year prep and help. We haven't updated this yet since it's just early October, but we are going to have it done within the next couple weeks. But this is where all of our documentation on different items to help you prep for the new year. Membership's pretty simple, but there's a few things here in donations that you can look at, accounting, payroll. But this donations new year prep steps, this PDF is what I used today. So if you're okay with looking at the one from last year, if you want it right now, you can do that. It's not really going to change that much, honestly. But if you want to wait for the new one that we're going to work on and get up for prepping for 2025, just check back here and that should be up here soon. Also, it'll be on just the regular old resource center too. Christine's asking, oh, Stacy, I just answered your question. Nice. Christine's asking, yeah, if you come out to churchwindows.com, hover over customer support, click on resource center, it's going to take you to all of our recorded webinars and documents, and you can just type whatever you're needing help with, and then it's going to give you the results. So here's one on entering donations. And this is free. You can access it anywhere. You can get on the internet. So. All right, any other questions? Sorry about that weird error in the beginning. I don't know. I'm not sure what that was about. I always hate when that happens. All right, I'm not seeing anything. Hopefully you guys are feeling strong about that. Make your backup. If you have trouble, give us a call and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you guys for attending. I hope you learned something new. I hope this will help make working in Church Windows a bit easier for you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.